What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy, Enlightened Luciferian Prince, coming at you today once again. Now, I'm glad that you are enjoying these uploads. In the advent of the quote-unquote holiday season, which I don't celebrate, I'm utilizing a lot of my downtime to power pack as many uploads as I can, because in the midst of these next few days, and I said it in my previous video of prioritizing your redemption, I practice what I preach. So the free time that I do have available, I'm using as much of it as I can, because again, when it comes down to the redemption process, it will seem at first as if there's not enough time in the day. But I strongly believe that, and I've done it for years, if you apply yourself and you do it diligently, you not only reduce the stress inputs in your life, but it also alleviates a lot of doubt and uncertainty within regards to your commercial processes for you to get things done in a timely and ornate fashion. I am a man of order, strictly. And I don't like my brain to be scattered all over the place in regards to utilizing my time, which helps me get a good night's rest, because I'm caught up with everything and I don't like to fall behind. And I just want to be a motivating source for a lot of people who either don't have the encouragement or lack the tenacity and the voraciousness to go after whatever's attacking you in your personal life, whatever it is, maybe foreclosure, repossession, whatever it is. Don't give up. Don't give up. Use the time that you have wisely, because the time is our most valuable asset. But without further ado, let's just say, if you're watching this video around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity, as my videos are not for children. And this does not constitute legal advice. The sole purpose of this information is for informational, educational purposes only. Nor does it pose anything anti-government, because I cannot be anti-self, because we the people are the government. It's not the other way around. And also to mention, this is, again, if you are in a legal situation that you do need counseling, I am not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a barrister nor an esquire. If you require their services, get your money together, retain one, and let them assist you upon your path. Now, with that being said, let's cook. The title of this video is The Importance of Who Fills Out the SSA-89. Now, I went over this form, and the reason why I want people to understand how truthful this really is because we have, whether we believed it or not, on multiple occasions, have given our personal information up for use of third-party entities or private entities or corporations, whatever you wish third party, whatever you wish to call them. And we've done this unknowingly because conditioning of society and the indoctrination of the monetary constructive system of using human beings, living creatures, I should say, living natural souls, more appropriately, as cannon fodder for the economical spin wheel that we call life. But I'm here to tell you that it is your duty as a competent adult to stop giving up your personal information. The reason why I say you must stop giving up your personal information is because they call it personal information for a reason. Personal, okay? Now, we have to also understand that what is personal is also supposed to be protected. Whose job is it to protect? If you have a Social Security card and that Social Security card is telling you particularly that for all intents and purposes that you must safeguard the information, they're telling you that at the Social Security Administration for a reason. They're telling you you must protect your personal information for misuse of identity theft or otherwise. A lot of your credit scores and so forth and so on is messed up because of the particular notion that once your information is out into the world, in the commercial world, it's easy for it to spin out of control. But if you want to keep tabs on who you give your personal information out to, your best bet is to fill out the form SS-89. Now, let us talk about the general purposes of the form SS-89. Now, this is just a breakdown. However, this is coming straight off what the form is for, and this is from the online approach. Now, who needs to fill it out? You might be asking. Individuals who need to borrow money from a financial institution may need to complete, highlighted emphasis on this, may need to complete a Social Security Form SSA-89, which authorizes the Social Security Administration to verify their Social Security number and name with the lender. Why is this important? It is very important because, for the simple fact of the matter, is that whenever people apply for anything, some people do phone applications, some people do online applications, whatever the case. This is more of a hard copy approach type of situation, because you have to fill this out, and you are therefore putting them on notice that the Social Security Administration, before you even run my information in any respects, the Social Security Administration has to give you authorization, and they have to send to me authorization that they sent it to you. Why is that important? Because it's a chain of evidence. Because whomever you give your information to, if you are not secure with your chain of evidence in regards to giving them that information, they can then sell your information, which is why your inbox, your spam, or your mailbox might be full of all sorts of offers. You might get pulled over in a traffic situation, and next thing you know, here's a lawyer trying to contact you about dealing with the ticket. They're selling your information, people, and they're making a profit off of it. And then my next video is going to be on trademark infringement, because this also coincides with that too. And I want y'all to pay close attention to a lot of steps I talk about, because a lot of stuff is not as separate that I talk about on my channel as others. But that's putting the cart before the horse. Now, here are some reasons why most people might need to complete a SSA-89 form. It says, number one, it says applying for a loan to confirm their identity with the lender. Number two, applying for a mortgage to verify their identity with the lender. Number three, opening a bank account to establish their identity. Number four, applying for a special license to verify their identity. Number five, undergoing a background check to verify their identity. And number six, applying for government benefits to authorize Social Security number verification. The SSA-89 form is a one-page document that requires the borrower's name, date of birth, and Social Security number. The borrower will also need to provide the reason for the verification and the name and address of the third party who will receive the results. Lenders may use the SSA-89 form to prevent identity fraud. However, not all lenders require the form, and the government does not require lenders to complete the verification. So in other words, it is your job, it is your duty to take this information. You do not give it to the lender or send it to the lender. You send it to the Social Security Administration, because you're providing the information necessary on the form and the address to whom the lender is. So the Social Security Administration will then basically tell you, for all intents and purposes, that they gave verification of your identity to these individuals, which also will help you in regards to any type of credit inquiries that you will otherwise be subjected to by not using this form through the Social Security Administration. So let's just say, hypothetically, you cancel out the SSA-89 form, and then you turn around and you contact a lender on your own recognizance. You are not insulated from these individuals soliciting your information and running hard background checks, which do affect your credit. This is why a lot of people get rejected, and they get rejected based upon the preeminence of not having a credit worthiness. Pardon my language, as far as to flustering. But for the most part, if you do this, the Social Security Administration is being notified as to who and what you're sending it to. So you're keeping a documented record Now notice it says the government don't require them to do it. Of course not. Because these are privatized corporations that have their own bylaws and they have their own set of rules under corporate policy, which is totally understandable. However, when you want to engage in commerce and you want to keep yourself safe, because remember, no one is going to keep you safe in commerce except you. Your wife can't do it. Your mama can't do it. Your grandmama can't do it. The lawyer ain't going to do it. The judge ain't going to do it. The cop, and nobody. Because when we deal with commerce, we deal with liability, period. Liability is always a word that you need to understand when you're dealing with commerce. Nobody wants to be liable, but everybody wants to get paid. Just make sure you stop giving people a free paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, you fill this out, you send it to the Social Security Administration. You give them a lot of the period of time to basically say it's only authorized for a certain amount of time. Let's just say you want to get a loan, you want to get approved for a loan, you can say 24 hours. It's only valid to that entity for 24 hours. After that 24 hours, the Social Security Administration puts it in their system and basically say, hey, if they try to run this shit, it's going to flag them. You see what I'm saying? After that 24-hour elapsed period. If you look at the SSA-89 form, it gives a duration of time period that this form is viable. So upon the expiration of that time period, that lender can no longer try to run that information because you'll have to do the process all over again. But if they try to run it again, they're probably trying to do some shady shit because lenders are shady ass people. They don't never lend you shit. They never show you any document that they even loaned you anything. It's just your word against theirs. But this is how you get a transactional history on if they approve you or not. 90% of the time, a lot of lenders who do shady practices, who have multiple lawsuits against them and all that shit, they have lawsuits against them up the wazoo for unfair practices and consumer abuse. So if they say that they don't want to accept the form or they don't even want to deal with it, 99% of the time, they probably have a chance to try to defraud you in some way. Okay? I'm just going to be the one to say it. Brokers, lenders, all of them motherfuckers, anybody who deals with anything in the financial realm has no modicum of sympathy when it comes to finances. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Period. So you got to keep yourself safe and stop making yourself a meal ticket for these fucking vipers. Other than that, that is the primary purpose for filling out the SSA-89 form. And who fills it out? In less than 13 minutes. You're basically going to utilize these processes to keep yourself safe from commercial liability because no matter what you do, you could do your damnness, you know what I'm saying, according to their system. Their system is designed to help you fuck up. It is to keep you indebted in some sort of way. But the beautiful thing about debt, when you really start to do your due diligence and research, what is debt? It's a made-up thing. It's a figment of the imagination. That's the beautiful thing that people have to come to realize, but it also comes with an ugly dosage of truth. It's a made-up thing that has very real consequences if you don't know how to deal with it properly. That's what they will not tell you. They will not instruct you properly how to regulate your commercial life because the more they inform you, the less they obtain. So I have to keep the population of people, irrespective of nationality, color, race, creed, origin, or religion, I have to keep all of you people slow so that I stay on top. See, the people who are on top have gained it through unscrupulous means. They didn't get it because they was gifted by some divine being and they were held overlords of the fucking face of this planet. No, they just knew how to do some deceitful shit and it worked for them and they kept it going for generation after generation. These people are not no divine people. They're just fucking hoarders. Okay? And that's one thing that y'all have to understand. They have one trait and one trait only amongst the commercial cycle and synosure of it all is fucking greed. Period. It's greed. Do you not know that Congress even tried to vote for themselves pay increases in the midst of a motherfucking inflation epidemic? They actually tried to vote for themselves pay increases. While the average American commoner barely knows what the fuck is going to happen from day to day. But yet you sit here with representatives who try to comfortably cush themselves up against the motherfucking impending doom that is soon to happen. So let us just be realistic about this, people. When you deal with the commercial world, you are dealing with a heartless system that only worries about profiting itself. That goes from the courthouse all the way to the fucking church. And yes, I said it. Because they are the same. You know what I'm saying? IRS 501c3. That's why that bullshit they taught you in school. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Long ass 27-letter word that don't mean shit. They told you the church and state is separate. Then why the fuck do IRS 501c3 entities exist? And then, if you want to get approved for a loan in the church, you have to sign a contract that you can't teach the congregation the fucking truth. Real talk. Oh, y'all think I'm playing? Go look up the paperwork yourself. Don't take my word for it. Come here. Come here. Come on, man. You can only rope in the gullible. Why do you think these pastors got so much shit lined up for them? Jets, and Rolls Royces, and Maybachs, and you name it. They preach about heaven, but their congregation live in hell. Because it's all commercial. Religion is commercial. Spirituality isn't, though. But religion is commercial. Period. I tell people all the time, I read the Bible and so forth and so on. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in it, but you can't convince me that it's not a commercial interest behind it, because the King James Version of the Bible has a Library of Congress number and it has a trademark number. Anything that is trademarked is intellectual property. So that's why they can switch it and flip it and twist it however they want. Every time you turn around, there's over 200 some odd versions of the Bible. But it has to come from a regulating authority that owns the copyright. Now, I know people sitting here talking about, well, you know what, this is going all over the place. No, it's not. It's all commercial. The moment your feet hit the floor and you get yourself together in the morning to get ready to go to work and you put your motherfucking key in the ignition, it's commercial. Period. You're only guaranteed the sanctity of the privacy of your own domain, which is your house. I don't care if you rent, you mortgage, or you own. It don't matter. Your sanctity is your privacy of your home. And if your privacy and your personal information is sacred, then don't give that shit out to nobody without having somebody be held accountable for it. Simple as that. So make sure you keep your motherfucking house in order and stop giving these people this information. If a lender asks you over the phone to give your personal information, you say, fuck no. The only entity in most instances that you won't go and give your personal information to, if worse come to worse, is the motherfucking hospital. In case of emergency, you ain't got time to put all that paperwork down. It's an emergency, you ain't got time. That's just being realistic. But if you well and able and you don't have to divulge that information to no entity, then don't. Fucking don't. You'll save yourself a lot of time and trouble if you just take my word for it. But you don't have to. You can look at this video as entertainment, but I'm just a person who's letting you know. Keep yourself private. You want to fill out for food stamps? Then make sure that these individuals verify your identity. Because I don't think people know that it's actually a felony. It's a fucking felony for people to actually ask you for your ID as far as your social. Yes, it's a fucking felony. I'm not going to tell you the code section. I'm going to tell you to look it up. And for anybody that doubt me, talk about, well, he don't know the code section. Man, I got the documentation right here. Come in. Come in. I got the documentation right here. Notice of warning. Come here. I got the code section right up on that thing. Come here. But you look it up. You do your due diligence. Because, mind you, this is the interactive class over here. I implore people to study and do their due diligence, do their research. Don't take my motherfucking word for it. Do your research. Do your homework. It's a felony for anybody to ask you for that. So if anybody asks you for it, you must tell them. You know it's a felony, right? Now, I'm going to give it to you, but just know, if you take this, I'm going down to the prosecutor's office and I'm going to file charges against you. You still want it? Oh, I didn't think so. Or shit, go the extra mile. They ask you, oh, you failing to identify yourself? Go get business cards made and put it on there. Put the code section on there and hand them a card. Tell them, look, go ahead and sign that. If you want me to give you that social, go ahead and sign the signature line. It's an acknowledgement. I mean, hey, it's your world when you're in the office of sovereign. Go wild. Go wild. Because it's your office. It's your life. It's your station. Go wild. Use your imagination. Hell, that's what the system was crafted upon. An idealism that people said, well, let's give it a shot. And over the centuries, they had to tweak it. But now it's working. Why do you think this is the only instance of the system that we have to deal with that nobody ever discusses? The judiciary. Nobody ever discusses that because it's not broke. It's working just the way they want it to work. Simple as that. Let the guilty go free. I mean, y'all saw that during the crucifixion. I mean, come on now. How fucking blind y'all got to be? They said, which one y'all want us to turn loose? They said, give us the fucking murderer. So don't find it surprising when they let guilty motherfuckers go and they hold innocent motherfuckers for little to nothing. Do y'all not understand that the Roman system is the same system that crucified Christ? Are y'all out y'all fucking mind? It's the same system that's been in existence for thousands of years. Fuck you think it's gonna change? I better wake up, man. Come here. But I'm just saying, do your due diligence. If you don't, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't. You honestly don't. And if that's the route you want to take, then so be it. So be it. But for those who are doing their due diligence and doing their studies and doing their research and getting on their grind, congratulations. I hope you keep moving forward. And I also speak this word of encouragement for people who are going through some very tumultuous times with, especially for a certain spectacular person who may be out there in the world today, tomorrow, the day after, or the year after, or years after. Start separating yourself from people who do not benefit you in your personal life or your own journey. People who don't want to see you bear fruit, or people who aren't bearing their fruits themselves. Get the fuck away from them. Because as the days wane on and as the moon rises and the sun sets, hey man, time is short. And it's getting to a point where there is a fundamental psychological shift that's taking place. Get the fuck away from dead people, man. If you want the road that leads to life, you gotta change some things up. Even if that means people, places, and things. I don't give a fuck if it's a lover of 10 years or your own goddamn brother. It don't matter. If you want better for yourself, if you want more for yourself, you're going to have to start prioritizing what's necessary and important for you. Especially for you people that's out there in the world that always try to do good for other people and you always find yourself in last place. What I'm telling you right now is a word of encouragement. In 2025, it's time to be fucking selfish. It's time for you to stop putting your tasks and your goals on the back burner. It's time for you to start getting active. And it's time for you to start putting you first. If you're not where you're supposed to be by June, your tree is not bearing fruit. Period. You got up until June next year. And for the Most High that says it, hey, look, I'm only going to give you another year. I'm going to prune around it. But if it don't bear fruit this year, I'm cutting it down. So this is why I tell people, prioritize what's important to you. Because if you made it to my channel, and I'm just a humble voice in the wilderness, I'm just going to let you know right now, you done probably searched everywhere, high and low, and still didn't find what you need to find. Well, congratulations. You made it to where you need to make it to. Even the little agents that snuck in. And fuck y'all too. But at the same token, it's just one of the situations where I'm going to kick the truth. That's all I'm going to keep on my channel. I'm going to kick the truth. That is it. It's all I owe people. It's the truth. Other than that, it is what it is. Y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next upload. Peace, light, love. See y'all soon. Take care. See y'all soon. Agents, fuck you. I'm out.